guys, welcome back to Lab Cyber, and first of all let me say Happy New Year 2025. It is the first video from the channel, and I was in the UK celebrating the Christmas and New Year holidays, and like me, I hope you had a great time as well. However, while I was in the UK, a major incident broke out, and I told myself as soon as I get back to the office, I have to cover this story because it's actually quite fascinating. And the story here is this: the US Treasury says Chinese hackers stole documents in major incident. Now, just like I usually do on this channel, I'm going to break down this story, explain to you exactly what happened in very simple terms and what lessons we can learn from it. So I've pulled in this story from Reuters, and it says Chinese state-sponsored hackers breached the US Treasury Department's computer security guardrails this month and stole documents in what Treasury called a major incident. Now, further down here, it says, based on available indicators, the incident has been attributed to a China state-sponsored advanced persistent threat APT actor. Now, if you're not familiar with the term APT, advanced persistent threat, it's typically the kind of attack carried out by a highly skilled cyber threat actor. Now, the reason why the word persistent is in the title is because unlike most cyber attacks that are short-term based, they occur for a few minutes, maybe a few hours, and that's it, an APT can occur for several weeks or maybe even several months. And the reason why it's able to do this is because such an attack can employ a wide variety of techniques, such as being able to adapt to the defenses of the targeted system or network. Maybe the attacker was able to install multiple backdoors to maintain long-term access. Like, there's a whole range of techniques. So it's very likely that this attack was carried out by an APT because apparently the hackers had access to these documents for several weeks, and of course within that time they stole a wide range of documents, which, by the way, as of the time of me making this video, the US Treasury hasn't yet revealed exactly what documents were stolen by these hackers. Now, how exactly did the hack occur? This is where things get very interesting. So apparently there is a platform called Beyond Trust. To be honest with you, before this attack occurred, I never even knew about this platform, but they're huge and they offer a wide variety of cybersecurity products and services. On their homepage, if you were to go to products, for example, you would see things like the identity security insights, password safe, privileged remote access, and so on. And then on the solutions, they've got things like your cloud access, your cloud security. They've even got cyber insurance. So basically, they're a big deal. Now, apparently, the US Treasury uses Beyond Trust. Beyond Trust provides remote access support to the US Treasury. So what happens here is that if there is a system in the US Treasury that needs help, you will have a specialist or a technician from Beyond Trust that will log in remotely to access the system in the US Treasury and provide technical support, things like that. Now, understand that in this kind of scenario where a system from Beyond Trust wants to access a system in the US Treasury, there needs to be some form of identification or some form of authentication that the system from Beyond Trust needs to provide to the system in the US Treasury. It's proving that, hey, I'm from Beyond Trust, I'm here to help you, grant me access, right? So this form of identification or authentication is typically in the form of security keys. So the system from Beyond Trust needs to provide the security key to the system in US Treasury. The US Treasury gets the key. It knows that, okay, I've gotten the key. I can trust that you are from Beyond Trust. It turns out that the hackers were able to gain access to these types of security keys. So basically, they were able to impersonate Beyond Trust. They stole the keys and then were able to gain access to the systems in the US Treasury. So obviously, this is very embarrassing for Beyond Trust because, hey, you guys are supposed to be all about cybersecurity. You're the company providing all these wonderful products and solutions, and yet your very own security keys were stolen by Chinese-based hackers. How the hackers were able to steal the keys in the first place, no one really knows, but it's very likely they were able to exploit certain kinds of vulnerabilities that existed on Beyond Trust's platform. So it's very, very embarrassing for Beyond Trust. It's very embarrassing for the US Treasury. And of course, China has denied responsibility. They've said, hey, we're not responsible. We don't know what occurred in here. We don't know what happened, things like that. It's typically, of course, politics, right? However, in response to this attack, it turns out that President Joe Biden is going to order tougher cybersecurity standards for federal agencies to ensure that they're better prepared and better protected against such attacks. So what lessons can we learn from this particular incident? Well, the major lesson to learn here is that you should never ever trust connection requests implicitly from any third-party platform, even if that connection request is from a platform that's supposed to be reputable as Beyond Trust. It's very likely that the US Treasury, their only form of authentication and identification involves the use of the key, and that's basically it. I personally believe that there should be multiple layers of authentication so that even if the key is provided, there should be at least one more security check to ensure that the connection request is indeed from Beyond Trust. So that's the major lesson to learn in here. And just as I was about to conclude this video, I stumbled across another story, and this just broke out a few days ago. Apparently, again, this is from CNN, Chinese hackers breached the US government office that assesses foreign investments for national security risks. So I'm going to keep track of this story. I haven't gotten the full details yet. If it's juicy enough, I will make a separate video talking about this particular story. But hey, it appears that China are ramping up their attacks against US-based agencies and US government offices, and this is all cyber warfare. That is not to say that the US themselves aren't doing the exact same thing to Chinese companies as well. So it's basically kind of like a tit for tat, and these things occur all the time. So that's basically it for today's story. The US Treasury getting hacked by apparently Chinese state-sponsored actors. So my name is Alex. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions, of course, put them down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if this is your first time watching my video, welcome to Lab Cyber. I am Alex. I cover stories around the world of cybersecurity. So if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Happy New Year once again. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.